Hi all, not done a video outside for quite a long time, but it's a perfectly still day today, good weather for filming. Also, I've not been able to do my walks really because of my knee, so I'm only doing little short walks every day. So if I do wince in pain, I apologise. My knee just randomly locks, seizes up, and it's very painful. Anyway, I've got my surgery booked in for the 6th of December, so that's good. But yeah, okay, so with that said and done, I did say in the last video, I said the next video I was going to do was going to be one where I was going to be introspective about myself. Long overdue that, but something more important's come up actually that I just need to say something about. I also say, you know, I don't really talk about politics on this channel. I'm not a political person. I will bring politics in when it, you know, as a segue into the themes that I like to talk about, which is, as you know, society, the individual's place within it, ideas against ideology, groupthink, mass psychosis, all the rest of it. But that's not to say I don't keep an eye on things, because I do. And I needed to do this video because the quite clear deep state brazen takeover of democracy in the UK it's taken my breath away, to be honest with you. So just want to do a quick video on that, because I can't not comment on it really. And once again, you know, you're left answering the question, can people see it? Yeah, you know, can people see it? You know, people are, I can detect it, becoming more and more and more angry. My question is, what are they angry about? And can they see the full scale of the problem? Anyway, I've done some videos before, quite a lot, about how 2016 was such a crucial year in the West, particularly the UK and America, with the election of Trump in America and the Brexit outcome in the UK, and how a section of the population was put under this deep spell and became mentally ill, could not accept the democratic outcomes in their countries. And ever since then, as I say, 2016, the propaganda has only intensified, the derangement has only become more entrenched, society's only become more and more mentally ill. And of course the deep state, the dark forces that I don't talk about so much, because as I say, I am more interested in the masses and how they behave and how they are manipulated, how their thinking and their beliefs and their behaviours are manipulated by the dark forces. But as far as I can see, it's all true. What David Icke has been telling us for 30 years is true. What these conspiracy theorists have told us is true. And the reason it's true is, all you need to ask yourself is it true? And then go and look, and you'll find out, well, it is true, because they tell you exactly what they are doing, what they're going to do, and then they just go and do it. Now, with all that said and done, you know, and that's taken into account the, you know, the lockdowns, the mass jab rollout, you know, net zero, the attempts at a biosurveillance state, elimination of cash, carbon credit scores, restrictions on freedom, restrictions on freedom of speech, attacks on basic fundamental human rights, and just a constant stream of fear-based propaganda to confuse and control people. It's all that. So what's happened in the last couple of months in the UK has blown to smithereens any illusions I had that we had any democracy whatsoever. Now, we did have the most important democratic vote in 2016, which was, shall we leave the European Union? And the UK, people in the UK comprehensively answered that question. And that set in motion a disgraceful, treasonous 4-year-long act by mainstream media, the European Union itself, the allegedly independent Speaker of the House of Commons, big business, and all mainstream political parties until the Brexit Party came along to sabotage that vote. But most disgracefully of all, there were 6,103,056 people, citizens in this country, who signed Article 50, the petition to revoke Article 50 to cancel Brexit. So we have 6,103,056 people, at least in this country, who are anti-democrats, who are saboteurs, who are treacherous. If you want to find out more about that and what I think, then click on the link in the description below, because I talk about how a subsection of society is treasonous, and that was demonstrated in the UK in the aftermath of the Brexit vote. Link in the description for the book. And that is something that in time history will reflect on. It's not good, but that's not going to be for a long time yet. However, the decision of the UK people to leave the European Union was sabotaged from day one, from hour one, straight away. And they've never let it go. It was never going to be allowed to happen, the UK to leave the European Union. The European Union, which was formed in the aftermath of the Second World War alongside the United Nations. You know, you have these other non-governmental, some political, some not, some business orientated, you know, organisations, the World Health Organization, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the Clinton Foundation, the European Union, NATO, United Nations, all the rest of them. Yeah. You know, but my opinion on that is that basically the more distant these groups and organisations, and the more distant the decision making is from the citizens of that country and those local communities, the more corrupt. And of course, that's the whole point, isn't it? You know, a contracting out of an illusion of democracy, and a contracting out of a nation's and its people's ability to control its own affairs to these far and distant, corrupt, psychopathic organisations, whose intentions are to dilute and eliminate democracy, to dilute and eliminate basic human rights, to dilute and eliminate cash, and to create war, with physical war, as I think we're seeing in Ukraine and Russia, and a war on the citizen's psychology, leading to, you know, mass psychosis, menticide, the death of the mind, etc. I've seen all that, talked about all that before. So the deep state interference in British politics. First of all, Boris Johnson. There's certain characters, certain politicians who aren't fully on board with the, you know, the New World Order. Bolsonaro in Brazil, you've got some in Eastern Europe like Viktor Orban, obviously Trump in America, you know, he still rolled out Operation Warp Speed, we know that, and that sullied his presidency for me, and he's never really come out and spoken out about how the destruction that the jabs have wrought. So he's gone right down, in my opinion. Trump, I know some people love him, think he's a saviour, but he's not. But Boris Johnson's another one who I can't stand, and will be hanging from a noose if I had my way. But probably shouldn't say that because I might get barred now. Anyway, but yeah, that's what I think. But not as bad as the politicians around the world who've been fully on board with, you know, with everything. The Jacinda Ardern's, Justin Trudeau's, Emmanuel Macron's, Ursula von der Leyen, you know, all the rest of them. Boris Johnson, I think, resisted to some degree, which is why he had to be forced out. You know, Partygate, remember that? Everyone going mad about Partygate. You say to people, well, hold on a minute, why are you going mad at the politicians there? Why aren't you a bit angry at yourself? Because quite clearly the fact that they were congregating, having parties, not wearing masks, not socially distancing at a time when an alleged pandemic was allegedly raging, you know, what does that tell you? They were angry at themselves, not at Boris Johnson. But a convenient excuse to get rid of Boris Johnson. And that was the first political coup. And the second political coup is even more brazen. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Jeremy Hunt, the de facto Prime Minister of the UK, proponent of net zero, proponent of Chinese-style lockdowns and COVID zero, a psychopathic bastard, the archetype, the prime example, an evil man, has been put into that position by the globalist coup that has taken place in the last few months in the United Kingdom. And it is so brazen and so clear and so blatant that even I can't believe their temerity. And what it says to me, it says to either two things: either they think they're absolutely untouchable, or they are utterly desperate in a race for the finishing line. I don't know. Every day I change my mind. But as I say, I don't usually touch on what the average man and woman on the street who hasn't looked into all this would term conspiracy, even though most of it, not all of it, most of it, to my mind, is true. But the idea that there's been a globalist takeover, an external coup, an infiltration of UK politics by dark external forces, is one that I completely subscribe to, for the reasons that I've just outlined in this video here. And the intention is this: the intention is to ultimately, obviously, Liz Truss, you know, she's going to be gone by possibly tomorrow, isn't she? The day after. You know, and you're going to have someone like Rishi Sunak or Jeremy Hunt as the PM, you know, fully on board, World Economic Forum, globalist stooges. The media will continue to undermine and to, you know, create chaos, and to pave the way to a general election which will take place in December or January, February, March, which Labour will win comprehensively, and we will then have an even worse World Economic Forum stooge in Keir Starmer as our Prime Minister. And then the ultimate question will be, again, to the British public: what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So there we go. So that's what's happening. And of course, the shouts then will be, and all the people will be in the right positions to get the UK back into the European Union. You know, because the UK leaving the European Union, the reason it's been sabotaged from day one was it could not be allowed to be a success. It was never given a chance. It was never given a chance. The fact that 17.4 million people voted for Brexit has just been trampled all over. There is no such thing as democracy in the UK. Our freedoms are under attack. We have no democracy, and our society's been ripped to shreds. You know, by these dark forces, with the permission, somewhat, of too many of the British public still. Although obviously things are heating up now. So yeah, okay. So there we go. So that's my prediction. Just to veer into politics a little bit, I think that's what's happened. It's an utter disgrace. We live in a basket case, a political basket case of a country, you know, the world's best and strongest democracy. It must be having a laugh. Oh my God. There's going to be a general election which Labour are going to win, and, you know, all efforts will be made to get the UK back into the European Union. And there we go, you know, there we go. So us little people count for nothing, except we do when there's enough of us, as we keep banging on to our friends and family and colleagues who, as I say, too many are still burying their heads in the sand. But yeah, okay, all right, let me know what you think of this video. Don't forget to subscribe. As I say, the link for my book is in the description, and I'll speak to you soon. Okay, thank you, bye bye.